Minutes without a field goal here for Potsdam, but they finally get back on the board and cut this lead to 4, 19-15, Skidmore in front. Riley Green again, drives the lane, tries to find Skorick down low, does. Juggled it a little bit, off the glass too hard. Just a bit too strong, a lot of contact though. They converged on him with 3 black jerseys. As there's Parker Kelly, Kelly back out again to Seeger. Seeger over to Baptiste, he drives the lane, Skorick is there, Skorick knocks it away, into the hands of Green, it's 2-on-1 now. And Riley Green takes it coast to coast. And Green steals the inbound in the quick hands of Riley Green, the junior from Skillman, New Jersey. And into the hands of Koopstas for 3, halfway down and out with the toilet bowl roll that time, as Koopstas really could have extended this lead to a huge momentum shift, but not going to be the case. So timeout Potsdam. And right now Skidmore, they came out, not the aggressor so much. Came out, I don't want to say flat, but just didn't come out with the same kind of energy that they came out with on Saturday afternoon. Has now taken the lead. It is a 6-point Thoroughbred lead, 21-15 with 10:59 to go. And we'll be back right after this.
I think it sounds really good.
Action set to resume here at Williamson Athletic Center. 10:59 to go. Skidmore has exploded to a 21-15 lead. Again, they were down 5-0 at one point and 10-5 at one point. Now, I know 5 isn't a whole lot in the game of basketball. I mean, it's a game of runs and 5 points, 2 possessions. But this team has fought and clawed and scratched their way back when it looked like Potsdam was coming out swinging. And it's the same thing Stevens did in the second half of last week's game. As again, they brought that big lead down to 5. Skidmore has had a little bit of trouble this season so far, albeit it's only been 1 game holding on to big leads. Let's see if they can extend it here, as this Potsdam team's not going to go away. A very veteran-led team, as that's the up and under by Baptiste, and is good. So Baptiste has 5 now, 10:43 to go, 21-17. We got a football score here. Riley Green being D'd very well at the volleyball line by Austin Dropkin, who has now entered the game. Over to Lamport. Lamport faked the pass. Now he's going to turn, spin, has to get rid of it now. Finally does to Koopstas, top of the arc. Koopstas wanted the 3. All up in his face was Seeger. Now he takes the screen to the corner. 3 ball off the mark. So that one missed by Jake Walsh, freshman guard from Westfield, New Jersey. A lot of New Jersey kids on this team. As fighting his way through the middle and tripped up is Baptiste. So let's see who they give the foul to. I'm not quite sure whose foot he hit, so it's going to be Green. I know he tripped over somebody. Wasn't quite sure there was a scrum of bodies down there. So Colton Hustis checks in. And he's going to replace Brandon Seeger. Eichelberger is going to check in. And coming out is going to be Riley Green here. So Skidmore going with a bigger lineup. Smallest player on the floor for them now is the 5'11" Jake Walsh. And up and inside, and Baptiste just battled for that one. He had 3 Skidmore players around him. And Baptiste now has 7. 21-19 is the count. 9:57 to go here. Opening half of action. A couple of new faces on the floor here. Not only is it Walsh, but it is also Ian Bentley. As Lamport had to get rid of that one. Almost lost a handle on it. Deep 3 ball. That one's good. And Eichelberger starting to heat up here. He's got 2 now. Has become quite the shooter here for this team. Quite the scorer and the threat behind the arc. As now a nice transition basket that time. As that was a design pick and roll play. And Colton Hustis gets on the board now. He's got 2. Leading scorer for Potsdam is 8. For the Thoroughbreds, also with 8, is Greg Skorick. Lamport now walking it up. He's at that volleyball line now. Gets it over to the left side arc. Now back over to Bentley. Bentley to Koopstas. Coops this over to Bentley again. That's a long three. That one's off the mark, but it's pulled down and out of the hands of Jake Walsh. So just ripped away from him. And here comes Potsdam again in transition. That one's a little too strong off the glass. It's going to stay here, though, as it goes off the hands of Eichelberger out of bounds.
Entering the game for Potsdam, number 14, Brandon.
So number 14, Brandon Seeger checks in. Taking a seat here
21, Alexei Downey.
is going to be Parker Kelly for Potsdam. Number 21, Alexei Downey, the freshman from Somerville, Mass, checks in. And that one was way too easy. So Colton Hustis drives the lane again, and boy, he was all alone. The Skidmore defense parted like the Red Sea on that one. It's a 1-point game, 24-23. 8:36 to go. Kicks it back over. Eichelberger thought about the three. Great D by Seeger that time. And they kick it back out. That is Downey. Downey, his first shot of the game is a three ball. That one's off the mark. So now Potsdam with a chance to take this lead back. Three ball. That one's back rim. But now, because of the substitutions by Skidmore, it's now Potsdam with the size. And Tyrese Baptiste now has 9 points on the day, and it's a 25-24 Potsdam lead. They kick it back out to Downey. Downey over to Lamport. Lamport thought about the three, pulls it down to Koopstis instead. Koopstis drives the left. He fades away. That one's back rimming off. Rebound pulled down. It's 3-on-2 now. And deciding to slow it down is Hustis. Hustis to the corner. Three ball, no. That one was off the mark by Williamson, but rebounded by Potsdam again. There's the kick out. Hustis, long three. That's back rim, and it actually went halfway down, though. Hit the rim, hit the backboard, and rolled out. So Skidmore catching a break there. In transition the other way. Three ball. That one's back rim. Pulled down by Koopstis, though. He got that rebound way out at the three-point line. And now Skidmore's going to reset with a fresh shot clock. Lamport for three. That one's off the mark as well. So Skidmore has cooled down here after a hot start in the shooting department. As Baptiste down low. They've got the size now. As again, the tallest player on the floor for Skidmore is now Eichelberger, who's only 6'7". He's going up against Baptiste, who's also 6'7". And that foul is going to go against Lamport. So Baptiste already the leading scorer now for the Potsdam Bears. Now he has a chance to expand upon that. First trip to the line here this evening for him. Again, 25-24, 1-point Potsdam lead. The ref is getting everybody set here. Baptiste, again, the 6'7" junior from Brooklyn. Missed the first. So Skorick and Green are going to come back in. Checking out is going to be Walsh. And it looks like Lamport's going to take a seat here briefly. So now they've got a little bit more of that size inside. Again, 6'11", so tough to guard. He's, for all intents and purposes, 7 foot. He might even be 7 feet with shoes on. Second one rattles off. So a missed opportunity at the line for Potsdam there as Baptiste bricks two of them. 25-24. Now here's Koopstis. He finds Skorick down low. Skorick pulls it down, puts it back up. It gets stuck on the side of the rim, and it'll be Potsdam ball. And Skorick had a big man mistake one-on-one there as he pulled the ball down. You catch that in stride, you got to keep going to the rack. He pulled it down for the dribble and let all those smaller guys get a hand on it. Sometimes that's what happens. As Potsdam's own big guy, number 44, Chris Becker, sophomore from Lake George, New York, checks in. So around the arc now goes Seeger. Seeger puts it back into Hustis' hands. He fights through the traffic, lays it up, nothing there. 25-24. What looked to be a high-scoring game is now turned into kind of a mild-scoring game here with 6:30 to go. As there's Skorick again using that size, lays it up with the left hand. And they just don't have an answer inside for the big man. 26-25, Skidmore back in front again now. and a seesaw roller coaster of a game. In the early going, as down the other side, another score. That one was Brandon Seeger.
Number 14, Brandon Seeger.
So just when Skidmore scores, Potsdam scores. These two teams trading blows back and forth. Riley Green walks it up that horse logo in midcourt. Now he's left-hand side to Eichelberger. Eichelberger back out to score at top of the arc. Over to Koopstas again on the right-hand side. Koopstas couldn't handle it on the pass, and it's going to be a backcourt violation.
Entering the lead for Potsdam, number 2, Mishan Johnson, number 20, Jeff Williamson.
So Misan Johnson and Jeff Williamson check in for Potsdam here. Taking a seat will be Alex Downey for the Thoroughbreds. So again, it's 5:45 to go. A fast-paced first half of action. As very rarely does that happen. 20 minutes of game time, 20 minutes of real time, but there hasn't really been a lot of fouls, hasn't been a lot of timeouts except for the one by Potsdam, so hasn't really been too much game stoppage. But now the refs are deliberating about something here. As I don't know if they're trying to figure out possession or what they're trying to do here. We don't really have communication here at the D3 level. I don't have a headset on where they're telling me what's going on, but looks like they got it resolved. And Hustis, right out of the gate, hits the elbow jumper. So again, Hustis, a sophomore from Ticonderoga, hits the 15-footer, and it's a 3-point Potsdam lead. Their second largest of the afternoon. Again, their largest was 5. As they get it down the score down low, and he hasn't pulled away from him. Here comes the transition again for Potsdam. And that one's left a little short. Rebounded, pulled down, and into the hands of Chris Becker, and he's on the board. Boy, Brandon Seeger doing everything. Missed the layup, got his own rebound, found Becker. And it's 31-26, Potsdam in front. 5:03 to go here. Skidmore trying to defend their home court. That's Koopstas for 3, and that's a good way to do it. 31-29, cuts it to 2. So now Potsdam working his back around the perimeter. That's Misha Johnson. Johnson over to Seeger. Seeger cuts it back. Now the kick over to Johnson again. Johnson drives the lane in traffic. And it's going to be a charge. So Eichelberger setting his feet and taking the contact.
Offensive foul, number 2, Mishan Johnson.
So that's the team's 4th, only his 1st.
Jake Walsh.
So Jake Walsh checks in. Eichelberger's going to take a seat here. Very deep bench so far for the Thoroughbreds here in the early season. Is they have quite the rotation going. They've had about 7 different guys touch the floor, possibly 8. I got to look here for Skidmore. They've had 7 different guys touch the floor so far. As Koopstas, who lost the handle last time, this time corrals it. Right side arc again. Lamport all alone for 3, and a scary-looking fall. As he went up for it, decided to pull it back down, and falling over the top of him, right onto the back of his neck and head area, was Parker Kelly, who definitely bit on the fake that time, but looks like everybody's okay. That one could have been a lot worse than it was.
Foul on Potsdam, number 21, Parker Kelly.
And that foul is going to go against Parker Kelly, so that's the 5th team foul. And they're going to bring out the mop here to dry up the floor. Field goal percentage has been in favor of Potsdam so far. They're shooting 56% here in the early going, and they are 14 of 25. Skidmore, on the contrary, is 11 of 27 and only 40%. Still not terrible, but when you're 40% compared to 56%, you can see why the deficit is what it is. I mean, this is a closer game than really the stat sheet is saying it is. Potsdam has dominated time of possession with the lead as well by almost 3.5 minutes. As there's Koopstas, that one is off the mark, too strong. And Potsdam coming back down the other way. They get it down to Becker. Becker lays it home with the left.
Basketball number 34, Chris Pepper.
The big guy gets it back to 5 here. Coops this again over to Green. Green out at that volleyball line. Has to make something happen here. The Skidmore team has been a little cold shooting in the last couple of minutes, but Coops just trying to change that. Skoric, the volleyball tap, did he go over the back? It looks like he did. So that's going to be foul number 2 on the big man.
Skidmore foul on number 11, Grace.
Largest lead for Skidmore has been 7. Largest for Potsdam has been 5. But you look, it's Potsdam leads in almost every statistical category here. Bench points. They lead in assists. To the corner. Walsh thought about it. Now he drives. Kicks corner. 3-ball. All set. Lamport rolled out, but tipped and around the net. Nothing there as Koopsis tried to tip it home. Did not use the glass. And boy, he had enough space around him to grab it, catch it, come down with it, and go up with it. Instead, he tried to volleyball tap it in, and a little bit of a lid on it that time for him. So what could have been a basket to cut the lead to 2. Instead, it stays at 4 here with 2:11, 35-31 in favor of Potsdam. 3-point percentage here. Skidmore has attempted more, but neither team has really taken a lot of threes in this game. Skidmore's 5 of 19 at 26%. Potsdam's 37%, but they're only 3 of 8 from behind the arc. Both these teams are doing a lot of work in the paint here, screens and being physical on rebounds, second chance points, things like that. And there's another example of the physicality, taking the contact and putting it home is Mishan Johnson, and he's going to go to the line here. 37-31, so tied now for the largest lead at 6.
Basket made by number 2, Mishan Johnson.
And they can make it 7 here, which will be the largest lead for the Bears if he's able to hit this. It has not been a good day from the line for Potsdam so far. Potsdam has not made a free throw yet, despite being there 3 times now. But that one is good. So 38-31, 7-point Potsdam lead, minute 49 to go, opening half. Over to Lamport. Lamport to Raven Ennis, who's now in the game. Ennis over to Bentley and has it stolen away from him. There's Seeger. Seeger has Bentley on him, and Bentley had no choice but the foul there. That would have been at least a layup, maybe even a dunk for Seeger. So that's going to put Skidmore in the 1-on-1 position. And Bentley with the heads-up play that time to not give up the easy basket and try to earn it at the line here. Again, 1 of 3 for Potsdam here today. First trip here for Seeger, however. Eichelberger checks back in. First basket of the game from him is good. So they continue to extend upon this lead. 38-31, minute 36 to go. Again, SUNY Potsdam, the won 17 games 2 years ago, has a lot of this same team returning. They lost in that SUNYAC championship to the 1-seeded Brockport. So this is a team that scores a lot of points and is a force to be reckoned with in that SUNYAC conference. Skidmore knew it wasn't going to be easy coming in. But so far it's been, other than a few brief stretches, it's been all Bears. There's the drive. Bentley, and he should have used the glass on that one. Tried to finger roll it, and it rolls off. So the lead remains here at 9, 40-31 with 1:11 to go. Skidmore just can't buy a bucket right now. Meanwhile, down the other side, basket is up and good for Seeger. And Seeger now has 10. There's another shot. That one's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Lamport. Tried to save it. He does. Over to Koopstas. Lamport to the corner. Back out to, that's Raven Ennis. Under a minute to play here. And it's now an 11-point Potsdam lead, 42-31. Ennis has his shot thrown by Seeger. Corral back out by Lamport. Lamport pulls up with no time on the shot clock. And just threw up a prayer. That one's off the mark. 34 seconds to go now. Skidmore is probably going to get one more possession, but needs to stop Potsdam here. As it looks like with everything going the way that it is, they're going to go into the locker room down double digits. Michon Johnson content just to hold this thing, let this shot clock run out. 15 in the shot clock, 8 in the game clock. Or vice versa, rather, excuse me. As there's a 3-ball deep for Houston. And it's 45-31. The lead is 14. And the wheel's starting to come off here for the Thoroughbreds as a prayer chucked up by Koopstas as time expires. And that is how your first half will play out. 45-31. Potsdam with a flurry here in the last 5 minutes. Skidmore's got some work to do. We'll be back right after this for some halftime stats and analysis. Again, you're listening to the voice of the Thoroughbreds, Chris McSwiggan, here at Williamson Athletic Center, 45-31. It's been all Bears.